Hi, fourth grade. We are going to go over our big picture of economics story that we read. It's an expository text, which means that it has facts, that it's trying to get across, much like a science social studies type book or even a Scholastic News. So let's go through and check out what it has to say here. So it talks about first economics. What is economics? It's the study of how people decide what to make or sell, and also what items not to sell and not to buy. And those type of things are all rallied around the marketplace, because the marketplace is where people shop. It could be at Amazon online, it could be at the mall, it could be at Meijer, it could be anywhere. Those are considered the marketplaces where we buy things. Okay? We always deal with money, like you see here. That's what we're used to. If we see something like this on the ground, we know it's money. However, it hasn't always been that way. You found out that in the beginning areas, there would be a lot of trade, like hunters. Before, hunters were self-sufficient, that they could hunt and make everything they needed. And then as time passed, there were some people that were just better at making food or growing crops or something like that. And so you had a situation like this where they would trade the furs for the berries. But that idea of how much is something worth to somebody, there wasn't a exact value. So people needed money. And money had to be something that they could take in a trade, but then it could also use when they were buying other things that they needed. So early on they found that precious metals like gold and silver were good. It came in different sizes, so you could weigh it and see how much the weight was, and that would tell us what the worth was. And they made coins. You could see some coins over here. But coins, as you know, if you have $10 worth of coins, it gets quite heavy. So then they decided we'd make some paper notes. Here's an example of a Chinese note from the 14th century. That means right around 1400 that they're talking about here. And in that era, they had this paper, and it was worth so much in gold and silver. So then they could take that and they could exchange it for gold or silver. But still, there was a little bit difference that had changed with ours today. We have money today, like we saw on the page before, like this money, and we can use that to buy gold and silver if we want, but we can also use it to buy things like he has in this cart over here, things that we want or need. We can learn about economics at a restaurant. Okay, so economics, again, let's go back to that definition, meaning the study of how people decide what to make or sell, and the study of why people buy some things and not others. So here, in this situation, when we have a menu, the price can determine whether we buy something or don't. Tuna sandwich for $5.50. Okay, if I really, really, really want a tuna sandwich, I could spend that money and buy one for $5.50. It's what I want, a demand for it. However, I could get all three of these things for less than the price of the tuna sandwich. So the price might convince somebody to buy something that they didn't want as much because they could get more for it than just the one tuna sandwich up here. So price can help us to understand if something's cheaper, we might buy it. If something's more expensive, we might not. If there's a sign in the window that says buy one, get one free, someone might buy 2 hamburgers instead of buying just one. Even though they didn't want 2 hamburgers, they would buy 2 because they get one for free, and then they could do whatever they would want with that other free sandwich. If the price is too high, we might decide to do something else where we could spend less money and get the same things, like go to a grocery store. When we look at the price, it helps someone make a decision what to make or sell. The price that I could tell you, one situation like this, people selling puzzles during this time. A demand for puzzles went way up. And so as the demand for puzzles went up, so did the prices. People knew that people wanted them. The supply was low. And so since there wasn't a lot, they charged a lot more for them then. And people, if they really wanted them, would buy them for that high price. They would get the profit off of that then too. But this is a nice simple example of being an entrepreneur, having your own business. And it's typical of what kids would do sometimes. Have a lemonade stand. When? In the summer, right? Because if you have a lemonade stand in the summer, that's when people would want it, when it's hot out. If you have a lemonade stand in the winter, it's not going to go so good. So price can determine also, like we said, what to make and sell. So I'm going to make lemonade. I have to determine a price, but we have to invest money first. We have to buy the lemons, the sugar, the paper cups, maybe even art supplies to make a sign in front of our stand. And we have to think about how much that startup cost is. Then we also have what we call our opportunity cost, and that's the time that we spend doing things. So we set up a lemonade stand. It takes me, let's say, 3 hours to get everything put together. Well, those 3 hours could have been spent doing something else, so we call that, we lost an opportunity to do something else. So that's what's called an opportunity cost. And so we have three things here now. We have a transaction taking place where she's giving the money, and in exchange, she gets the lemonade. So she gives the money, gets the lemonade. That's the transaction. He's the entrepreneur because he's the one that set up the business. The supply is the merchandise. The merchandise is the supply. She, the buyer, is telling us that there's a demand. There's a demand for it because she's willing to buy it. Okay? So the person buying it is the demand. The merchandise is the supply, and the person who's running the business is the entrepreneur. Then we talked a lot about laws of supply and demand. Okay, if I have a lot of lemonade, because I might make a lot of lemonade because I know there's going to be a lot of people who want it or who would buy it. So if a lot of people want it, I might make a lot of it. And I could sell it for cheaper if I knew there was a lot of people wanting it. If there's not a lot of people who want it and I sell it at a higher price, I might get only one person to buy my lemonade. But if I drop my price $1, I would get 3 people to buy my lemonade. So let's say their startup costs were exactly the same. If he's selling it for $2 and had one person come, he made $2. If she has less price and 3 people are going to come, she would make $3 because few people would pay that much for a glass of lemonade. Some people might pay $1. But if I went down even more to 50 cents, I might get 50 people to come and buy lemonade, or maybe even normal number, let's say 10. If 10 people buy lemonade for me at 50 cents each, I made $5. If she gets 3 people to buy her lemonade, she has $3. If he has one person, he has $2. So selling it at 50 cents, I could make more money as long as I wasn't losing money. The lower the price of the merchandise, the greater the demand. So the lower the price of the supply, the greater the demand. Over here, another rule is the higher the price of your merchandise, the lower the demand. So if I make it cost a lot, not a lot of people are going to want to buy it. If it's too high priced, people aren't going to buy it. Okay? Especially if it's something that they don't really need. We have a free market enterprise, which means that we can set the price. It doesn't tell us what we have to sell something at. So here's the rule. As the supply goes up, as there's more of something, prices go down. That's the first rule. As supply goes up, prices go down. As supply goes down, prices go up. As supply goes down, prices go up. Think about things around us today. Not a lot of Clorox wipes out there. So since the supply is low, they can charge more for that because they know the people are going to want them, but the supply is down. And so they can sell it for a lot. Supply goes up, prices go down. Too much of something, you want to get rid of it, so you're going to lower those prices so it gets going. Over here it says as demand goes up, price goes up. More people want to travel, more people want and need gas, so the prices of gas go up. As demand goes down, prices go down. When we were in quarantine and couldn't go too many places, or when we were told to stay at home, not in quarantine, we were just staying at home, demand goes down. We're not driving our cars around. We don't need as much gas. So the price of gas went down. So we don't have a demand for it, price go down. All right, those are the laws of supply and demand. And you read about this in social studies too, so this isn't brand new to you. The global marketplace just means that when we look at economics, it's not just the United States, but it's also all other countries and continents that we might be doing business with. We might be shipping cars to Europe. We might have Japan or China shipping us electronics or types of things that we might need. Do we all have the same type of money? No, we don't. They give us some example. Mexico has pesos, Europe has euros. Not too long before this book was written, Europe had all different things where the French would use francs, and there were pounds in England and things like that. And then they united, I have my mouse in the wrong spot, they united the area over here and they used euros. You could still use the other, still a couple of years ago, still you could use some of this other currency, but for the most part, euros is what's all over Europe. So we have different types of currency, different types of money that we use. Now it said that money is power, and that tells us about our global marketplace. So in 2010, the gross domestic product, which is most money made by selling things, was the United States at over $14 trillion. Then China, just under 10, then Japan, just under 4. Okay, those numbers have changed since 2010. Over the last 10 years, these things have changed. But it gives us an idea of things. It says that around the world, the richest countries are also the most powerful. Why? Because we have money to use to buy things, and it means that we have items that we are selling that people are buying. So and economics plays a role in everything that we are trying to understand, and we buy, from our entertainment to our food, to our vacations, whatever it is. Economics plays a part in it. Okay? That's our lesson for today, and I hope you have a good test when you take it. Make sure that you use your books and that you look back and make sure to check your answers, eliminate choices, and then choose the best answers. God bless.